everybody. This is Brianna, and thank you for watching our video today. I am making this video so that I can teach you how to go on to Medicare.gov and run your drug list to make sure that you are on the right prescription drug plan for 2026. Unfortunately, a lot of the carriers have stopped working with agents. They've taken away our ability to enroll people in their drug plans. They've stopped compensating us for our time in helping you with your drug plans. And so it's a service that we've always offered for our Medicare supplement clients. But we did ask that we had those lists in our office by the 15th of November so that we had ample time to get through everybody that needed assistance. And so at this time, we are completely booked for annual enrollment. We're not going to accept any further drug plan lists. And so I wanted to make this video so that you can go on to Medicare.gov yourself and make sure that you are on the right drug plan for next year if you have not already sent in your list. Again, if you've already sent in your list, we're going to run those medications for you. If I've received them by today, December 3rd, we're going to run those medications for you, and we're going to make sure you're in the right drug plan. We're working through those as we speak. But for any future drug plans or drug lists that come in, we're going to have you go ahead and go to Medicare.gov directly to review those drug plans. Now, as far as your Medicare supplement is concerned, that can be changed at any time of the year. So if you are wanting assistance looking at your Medicare supplement, we can start looking at those again in January or even after annual enrollment ends. We can change those Medicare supplements anytime that you can health qualify. So if you do have a Medigap that you want to have reviewed, I'm happy to look at that for you. And then as far as the Medicare Advantage plans, we do have a couple spots left still to review those coverages. And if you haven't gotten on our calendar, go ahead and give our office a call for that. But we also have the opportunity to review Medicare Advantage plans one more time in January, February, and March as well. So if you didn't get in during annual enrollment and you still want to do a review for your Medicare Advantage plan, we can do that at the first part of the year as well. All right. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, we're going to jump to it. This is Medicare.gov. So you are going to go on the internet and you're going to type in Medicare.gov, and this is the screen that it's going to bring you to. We're going to go right here where it says Find Plans Now and click that button. And then in this zip code box, you're going to put in your zip code. I'm going to use the one here at the office. And then once you get here, you're going to say that you want to look at Medicare Drug Plan, Part D. And again, this is only for the people that are on Medicare supplements with a standalone prescription drug plan. And then it's going to ask you, do you get any help with your Medicare health or drug costs? This is asking if you're enrolled in any Medicare savings programs or low income subsidy, extra help for your prescription drugs. If you don't get any help, you're just going to say, I don't get any help. If you do get extra help or have a Medicare savings program, you can check the box above that instead. And then we'll press continue. And this asks us, do we want to see our drug costs when we compare plans? Well, yes, of course we do. So we say yes, and then next. And then we get to the point where we're going to start adding in our prescription drugs. So I'm going to add a few common ones. Let's say we've got cholesterol medications, and it's a atorvastatin. We're going to click on atorvastatin and add the drug. Now, if the dosage is the one that shows up there, great. If not, we need to change that dosage to the one that we are currently taking. So if it's 20 milligrams, we'll select 20 milligrams. And if you're just taking one a day, it automatically a lot of times will filter to 30 or 60. So you do want to watch that. But if we're just taking one a day, that's perfect. And then if we pick that up every month, however, if we pick it up every 3 months, you can change that to 3 months and then put 90 tablets. Okay. I'm just going to do, for the sake of example, I'm going to do a month supply. Okay. So we're going to add that medication. And then we're going to add metformin. And now metformin is a tough one sometimes. This one, you're going to go all the way down to where it says metformin hydrochloride. And then it's going to give us lots of options usually in dosages. Okay, you can see there's all these different options. The most common ones are listed here first. Of course, if you have an extended release, fine. You want to stay away from the MOD and the OSM with metformin if you do take metformin. But most people are on like 500 or 1,000 milligrams. So we'll just say it's 1,000 milligrams and it's twice a day. So that's already pre-filled to 60, and we're going to add that. Let's say we're also taking Jardiance. We're going to add Jardiance, and we're taking the 10 milligram or the 25. We're going to select. We'll say we're taking the 25 milligram once a day. And then we add another. So you just keep adding all your medications. Now I'm going to put albuterol on here. The inhaler tends to be giving people trouble this year on most of the drug plan. But we'll go ahead and say that we take albuterol. And this one, maybe we don't take it as often. Maybe it's a seasonal allergy. So we pick up one maybe every 6 months. Or maybe it's 4 times a year. Okay? So you want to select the frequency in which you are filling those prescriptions. All right, now once I've got all my medications in there, I'm going to say done adding. And then it goes to pharmacy. Now you can do a couple different things. It's going to filter by distance and it's going to give you an automatic 5 miles. But let's say your pharmacy, you go to the next town. You can increase that distance here if you need to, okay? You can either check mail order if you are using mail order and you prefer that, or you can check the pharmacy that you want to go to. Now I'm going to just say Walgreens, okay? If you want to add more than one pharmacy, you can see down here, you can add up to 5 pharmacies and you can compare the costs for certain drug plans between different pharmacies, okay? And then we'll say continue to plans. Now it's filtered, you can see up here, it's sort by lowest drug and premium cost. So it's going to show us the best cost option on top, and it gives us a total premium and drug cost, excuse me. So that annual cost, this is for the whole year what you would spend in prescriptions as well as premiums. And the cheapest one's going to be on top, and then it'll go down. And you can see as we go down, that annual cost will increase. Okay, so it's listing it lowest to highest. So for the medications that I entered, it's showing that this WellCare value script makes the most sense. We can look at the plan details, and this is just going to show us everything about the plan and specifically to our medications as well. You can see the premium is here, it's $0. The deductible is here, it's $615. And then all of our medications are listed here. This is just your drug list. It does show us that albuterol is not covered on this particular plan. So keep in mind that is skewing the cost a little bit. Now for most people that are taking albuterol, if you have something like that, a lot of times GoodRx is going to be a cheaper alternative than billing it through the drug plan. A lot of times you can get those albuterol inhalers for about $25 at your local pharmacy with a GoodRx coupon. So keep in mind, you still have the option to do that with something like that, okay? And then as we get down, you can see that it shows us what our cost each month is estimated to be at Walgreens. And then you can also expand that and see where your cost is. So one thing that I would like to point out to all of you is that there's a handful of medications that are being negotiated next year. And the most common ones that we're seeing on that list is Xarelto, Eliquis, and Jardiance. And those medications used to retail for upwards of $600 a month for a month supply. And now they're retailing for about $200 to $250. That's good news. However, something like Jardiance is a tier 3 medication. We can expand this, view more drugs. Okay. And tier 3, you can see you'll pay 25% of retail. It also shows you what tier all of your medications fall into. Jardiance is tier 3, so it would be subject to this deductible of $615, and then it would drop down to 25% of retail. And let's see here. So you can see at Walgreens, the first month we pick everything up, we're hitting our deductible those first 3 months. And then after that, you can see how our cost will come down, and we'll pay about $51. And the one that's costing us is the Jardiance. It's $51. And then you can see metformin is $0 and atorvastatin is $0. You can see in this column here, this is the cost before deductible and then the cost after deductible. Okay, so you can see metformin and atorvastatin are $0 and they don't apply to that deductible. But Jardiance is $204 until you meet the deductible, and then it comes down to about $50 a month. And that deductible again was $615. There it is right there. Okay, now most of the plans have adopted that deductible, but most of the plans also will exclude tier 1 and tier 2 medications from that deductible. Okay, and then if we decide, okay, you know what, we're going to go ahead and go with this plan, we're going to select this enroll button right up here at the top. And then we say join plan. And here's where you're going to enter in all your information. So once we've gotten to this point, you're just going to put in your Medicare number, and then you're going to check the box here and you're going to press next. And you're going to keep going through all these questions. This is where it's going to ask you for all of your personal information, like your name and your address and your phone number. And do you want to receive plan documents by email? Those kinds of questions. Do you work? Does your spouse work? All questions that you'll be able to easily answer. When you get to the very end, it will have a statement that you'll read through, a box that you will check, and then you will press the submit button. Once you have submitted the drug plan, then it'll give you a confirmation page with a confirmation number. And I would just suggest go ahead and save that. Okay. And then if you don't have a Medicare.gov account, I would suggest going to this login button here after you're all finished and create yourself an account. Okay. Go to create an account with Medicare.gov. And this is where you can track your enrollment in the drug plan. It will show all the coverages that you are enrolled in, including your Medicare supplement. And then it will show you the status of your prescription drug plan to make sure that you do get enrolled in that drug plan that you've chosen. Now, if you are at the part where you're entering in your medications and you see that your current drug plan is at the top of that list, so for example, in the example that I just gave to you, we're going to go backwards here. In this WellCare example, if I'm already enrolled in WellCare Value Script and this one is showing to be my best option, I don't have to do anything at all. It will just roll over from this year to the next year, and I don't have to submit an enrollment. If you see a plan that you're not currently enrolled in, that's when you would go ahead and click that enroll button or view the plan details and then click the enrollment button within the plan details. Okay. Now, if any of you have any questions as you're going through this, do feel free to reach out to our office. Please be patient with us as we are working through the last few days of annual enrollment. And I appreciate all of you for watching this. And thank you so much for being part of our book of business. You are a blessing to me and my family, and I know everybody else in this office as well. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, please do let us know. We'll talk to you all soon.